Hey everyone, Jennifer Lee Chen here from NBC Sports Bay Area. It is Thursday. How's everybody doing? Not a whole ton of news today other than John Feliciano stepping away from the game of football. His knee did not cooperate with him, so he is retiring from the NFL. Didn't play a whole lot of football with the 49ers. He did play up until the Super Bowl, kind of the end of it, the 2023 season, and then missed the 2024 season with a knee injury. Outside of that, a huge contingency of 49ers players are in Cabo San Lucas. They're in Mexico, hosted by the Kittles and a tequila brand. And it looks like Brock Purdy is there, George Kittle is there. The usual suspects, though, normally when George Kittle travels, it's Kyle Juszczyk and his wife, Trent Taylor and his wife. But there's a couple extras. Trent Williams is there. Brock Purdy is there. Ricky Pearsall is there. Colton McKivitz, Nick Zakelj, Ben Bartch, Eric Saubert, Braden Willis, Curtis Robinson, and former 49ers Eric Magnuson. So I also heard a little birdie tell me that Jed York is down there as well. So is this the beginning of the 49ers and Brock Purdy starting the negotiation process? Probably not. But Jed York is there hanging out with the group with Brock Purdy, George Kittle. They're all down there. Of course, George Kittle's family is down there as per usual, but a huge contingency there. So it looks like the gang is all back together. I did speak to Bruce Kittle, George's father, I think around NFL honors time and maybe towards the end of the season. He did tell me they were going to do a retreat down in Cabo. And he's like, come down and teach Pilates. And I'm like, absolutely. But, there's kind of a fine line between being media and being involved. I'm so thankful for the Kittles and the fact that they invite me to Tight Ends University. I get to hang out with all the tight ends and, get other interviews that happen during the off season because there isn't a whole lot of time where we get to hang out and just talk to players and see what their I guess, vision is of the coming year. So that'll be happening a little bit later. I think that's in June. So, but a huge contingency for players in Cabo. So if you're headed down there, keep your eye out. But they were on a boat today, Thursday, and hanging out, doing some fishing. George Kittle and his family do such a great job in doing, kind of building community within the team. And so, it looks like it's a fun group down there. I know that they're doing some kind of retreat work, but also, always growing the 49ers audience down in Mexico. So, doing some work in Cabo and, trying to get that, the fan base expanded even further south of the border. And you kind of noticed it when the 49ers played in Mexico City in 2019. There were huge contingencies of 49ers faithful south of the border. Mexico City was filled with fans, and it wasn't just American fans that had traveled to Mexico City for the game, but it was local fans. There were a ton of them, and it's always fun to see when you're international to see the fans of the team, be excited to have their team actually in their own country. I do think the 49ers travel internationally, potentially Mexico City, potentially London in 2025. We won't find that out until May, but my inkling is that it's going to be an international game somewhere. They didn't have one in 2024. Probably a good thing. They didn't have the best record. They had a lot of injuries, so that extended travel does make it difficult. If they do travel to Mexico City, there is potential again that they will have to do some altitude training. Last time they did altitude training in Colorado Springs, Air Force Academy, and I jumped out of a plane with Lisa McCaffrey, Christian McCaffrey's mom, which was crazy. I'll have to post that. I don't think I've posted a video here on YouTube, so I'll have to do a throwback of that. Met a pilot who works with it as still works kind of reserve for the Air Force, and he was like, Lisa McCaffrey is my neighbor. Would you want to jump out of a plane with her? And I'm like, absolutely. I had never skydove before. Sky. I had never done that before. I've never jumped out of a perfectly good airplane before. And so Lisa McCaffrey, Christian's mom, and she is a riot, by the way. So much fun. We were flown up. It was so freaking cold, but we did drop and we did a tandem jump. And unfortunately, on Thursday before they traveled to Mexico City, they had to practice indoors because it was snowing and it was cold. The original plan was for us to jump into the end of practice. Now, the 49ers, of course, Kyle Shanahan did not want to disturb, and we didn't want to disturb practice in the middle of the week when they were installing. And Christian had just kind of joined the 49ers, so we didn't want to have any added strain. So we ended up just filming it with the Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs. So fun stuff there. It was freezing cold there. It was warm on one day and then it was freezing. They ended up having to practice inside. It was a random cold week in the middle of, I think it was November. And then, of course, they're practicing in snow and freezing cold temperatures, and then they go to Mexico City and it's hot. But it was good altitude training. And I know they've done a lot of work at the stadium in Mexico City. I know they're getting ready for the World Cup and whatnot. So I think it's better. Not that the field was bad. The field was actually in very good condition, but the locker rooms were up this huge spiral ramp that took a long time to get to. The locker rooms were way up on the top level of the stadium, kind of up, um, kind of at the top level of the stadium. And then that they had to come down that and then came down a really steep ramp to the field. And that was how they entered. So there were no elevators in the building at all and very few stairs. And it was instead these long, winding staircases. I remember talking to some of the players, and they said they were winded by the time they got to the locker room at halftime. And then again after the game, I mean, they were up there just, you know, totally exhausted. Obviously, great outcome. They beat the Arizona Cardinals. It was the Cardinals' home game at the time, and it was on their path to the Super Bowl. So just a kind of a fun story. So I'll have to post that video. Christian McCaffrey's mom is a amazing personality and just so gregarious and outgoing and so much fun. So that was kind of one of the things that we did in Mexico City. So that is to say, I do think the 49ers have a international game, whether it's London or Mexico City. The 49ers are connected to London in the fact that they own Leeds Football Club as well. So, you know, maybe the league does them a favor, maybe not. Maybe the league just says, okay, your fan base is good here, you're going to go there, whatever it may be. But I do have a feeling that they're going to go international in 2025. So, if I see anything else going on, I will let you guys know. But as of right now, that's your Thursday update. A lot of 49ers in Mexico in Cabo San Lucas, and you know, maybe the 49ers will be in Mexico a little bit later on this season. All right, talk to you guys soon. Hope you're all are well. And again, if there are players that you have been watching during the college season that you want me to talk to at the combine and you've seen them on the list, I did post a story that had the entire list of combine attendees. Please let me know. I am going to be there the entire week, and every player has podium time. So we will be able to go up and talk to everybody that's there. I'm going to be there entire week, so it's cold there. Um, Send warm, happy thoughts. All right, talk to you soon.